going to go through it here. Good morning. Good to see everybody. You know, we've been reading to children today. I saw Larry Cimboli, I saw Tom Lackey, and I just thought that's what my effect when I walked in the room. It was like, everybody be quiet, like the kids in the classroom. They were all anticipating our story. Well, we got a good story to tell this morning, and I want to welcome everybody to this press conference today. We wanted to, it's a transition for our city. It's kind of a bittersweet day, and we get to, I guess we're going in a transition, so that's a little different. We get an opportunity to recognize a great captain. We get to welcome aboard our new guy that we're going to run hard. That's a good thing. What I'd like to do is like to introduce some folks that are with us today. Obviously, we see people up front here. Steve Williams, our city manager. John Witt, captain, Palmdale Station. Norm Hickling from Supervisor Antonovich's office. Bobby Denham, the man of the hour. Neil Tyler, in charge. Our council, Mike Dispenza, councilman, and Tom Lackey. We also have some other notables in the audience. I wouldn't want to let out Larry Cimboli, our first mayor. You successfully read today and got here before I did. That's great. See Darren Parker here today. Good to see you. My friend Kamal Al-Khatib is here. Our department heads are here. Our staff is here. This is a great day for our city to recognize again Captain John Witt leaving us and our new guy. I don't want to take all the thunder away. We have others that are going to talk. I've always got something I can say. So why don't we do this? I'm going to introduce Chief Neil Tyler to come up and say a few words.
Well, Jim couldn't have stolen all my thunder because I have a little surprise, but I am here to announce that the Sheriff's Department is always in transition, and it's pretty unusual for a city to get to keep the same person for station captain for over 4 years. John's been with Palmdale for 4.5 years, and it's very typical for people to have moved on to some other kind of an assignment, which is what's happening to John. John's done a phenomenal job here, and some things that most of the people in the audience don't know about that only I would see as the division chief. He fought real hard for aspects of that new station that Ed Ralston worked so hard on before John was even here. But John gets credit for quite a bit of why that place runs well. John was in charge of the station during a time period when there was an international watchdog group that came out, and having assessed a variety of medium-sized to large departments throughout North America, in 2000, I think it was 7, they determined that Palmdale was the top police department of its size in the continent. And in fact, Dave Jennings got to go to Holland, right? Yeah. Is that where it was? And pick up the award. Dave Jennings was an important part of that award, too. So, Palmdale is historically, since I've been the division chief since 2002, had either the lowest or among the lowest rate of employees off duty because of injury or illness. That's something we always have to worry about, because when people aren't coming to work and we're paying them, the public suffers. And there's a morale factor in there, I'll tell you. I mean, not that people call in sick when they're not, but it occasionally happens that people's desire to come to work after being injured varies from person to person. And at Palmdale, the record's been that people come back really fast compared to the other 7 stations I work with. So I have to give John credit for that as well as everybody that works at Palmdale. So it is sad for me to see John go. He's being assigned to the office of the sheriff. The sheriff's got a few special ideas about things he wants John's help with. And so all I can say is, John, thanks a lot for the great work and supporting me so well. And we'll miss you. And not to hog the mic, but I will tell you that it's my honor to be working with Bobby. I've worked with him since I've been the division commander. He's been at Palmdale in this Antelope Valley area, whether it was the combined station or Palmdale station, for about, since '85, which is 23 years. That's a phenomenal record in and of itself. And I think in the press kit there's a bio of Bobby and his various assignments. Right now, you may or may not know that he's a lieutenant in a vitally important assignment to the AV that has to do with the crime-fighting initiatives that the sheriff has been so intent on making sure are consistent up here. And it's had a real effect on the Antelope Valley. He's been doing that since March of '07, so he's been in that spot for a year. And that's a good part of the reason, although there are others, that he's being selected as the next captain of Palmdale Station. So I guess it's time for an applause there. And this will be the part Jim couldn't have known about. I worked with Bobby at Lenox Sheriff Station in 1983 and 4 when I was a sergeant. He was a deputy. So he knows this is coming now, but you don't. Here goes. Bob Denham made the arrest. That's what policemen do. The widget we produce is make an arrest, serving the public by taking people to jail who shouldn't be among the regular populace. He made the arrest I've always considered the most impressive I've ever seen. It was based on what we like to think we're really good at in this job, and that's being observant. And when I was a watch sergeant one night, Bobby comes in with a burglary suspect, which is not that uncommon. But when he tells me the story how he got this guy, I was just blown away. So I'm going to tell it to you guys and let you know what kind of a guy you're getting, not as just a captain, but as a captain who knows how to do police work. It was a late reported burglary call. The woman says, you know, my house has been thrashed, and I don't know who did it, and it's, you know, get the prints or see what you can print and write a report, and you're done normally. But in this case, Bobby happened to be standing in the living room of this woman, and he noticed in a framed picture where there was a whole bunch of dust on it, like there are in some of our houses anyway, I got to admit, that somebody had done some doodling in the dust. Now, what does that mean to the average person? It means they got to get a dust rag, right? But somehow or another, and I've never really understood how he did this, he figured out that there was a nickname or a moniker carved into that dust, just like some fool like you do on, hey, clean me on a car, wash me. And he reads it, sees it says Ed Dog, ED-DOG. Well, he recognizes that as a possible moniker for any one of a number of people, like some fool kid or a gang member or whatever. And he actually goes ahead and asks the woman, hey, I see your picture there, and, you know, there's something carved in the dust here. Now, would this mean anything to you? It looks like it says Ed Dog. And she said, I don't know who that is. Well, in talking to her and thinking it through and doing his street police work and having intel about his neighborhood and the people that live there, he made the determination of who Ed Dog was before he came back to the station with a report. So instead of writing a late report at whodunit Berg, he had a suspect in custody because he noticed, basically, carving in dust. I've never forgotten that. I've told that story dozens of times. I think that's very impressive. It's only one of the accomplishments he did when he was at Lenox, which is why I'm now proud to introduce him to the mic and say, Bobby, welcome. It'll be great working with you in new capacity.